Hello, my name is Briar. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going through all of my unused stationery and sort of sorting through my used stationery and just sort of sorting some things because in the next month I am going to be moving to a different state. So that involves packing up all my stuff, sorting it into things that I absolutely need and therefore need to take in the car, and things that I need to ship. And because I have a lot of books and stationery and paper materials which take up a lot of space and make things really heavy, I have to sort everything out, and I'm also decluttering a ton of things. So in this video I want to showcase the stationery that I am currently using or have used in the past, and then what I have hoarded in my stationery stash of notebooks and papers and things, and we'll just go through all that and see what I've got and why I've got it. We're going to start this video with my previously used / currently using stationery, which is on my shelf right here. This is not all of it, this is just some of it. First binder, this is for my demon novel, tentatively named Deliverance. I just mocked this up in Canva and printed it because I like making fake book covers and they're all terrible, but I kind of love them anyway. So this just has my character notes, my story notes, and some things for my demon novel. Next piece, this is my Halloween slasher mall work in progress story binder. This has my character sheets, some plot development notes, and blank paper for sketching out whatever's happening in the Halloween slasher. You can see my main character's first character sheet in the front. I call her Hazel. I've also got a file here, which is for my middle grade attempt at a Stranger Things and Power Rangers kind of story that I'm calling my science camp work in progress. This one is, I finished a second draft of it, but it's, actually this is probably my most complete draft, but it's book one of what is definitely going to be a longer series because book one does not complete the story, and I tried to write book two for Camp Nano in 2021, and discovered I have no idea how to write a sequel to this. So that needs to be revisited sometime in the future. And then I've got my writer's notebooks from when I lived in Korea. That's what these two are. And these are my note cards, my big note cards that I fill out after I've completed a chapter. And in here is my smaller note cards where I have outlined all of my Halloween slasher. What other things do I have here? Take these off because I already talked about them. This is the box that I want to put my Halloween slasher note cards in. I just haven't done it yet. While packing, I found my mini thesaurus and dictionary, so those are definitely going with me. And the final piece of notebook stationery I have on this desk is this 2020 planner, which I bought and really enjoyed for like the week that I actually used it, because it's got like blank boxes, like 4 boxes per spread, and you can just write the date and check off what day of the week it is, and I think it's really nice. I've been using this as a tarot journal where I'm pulling a card and writing whatever, but I haven't done that in a while, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep this or if I'm going to recycle it, but it's really pretty. That's all the notebooks from my bookshelf. On here I also have tarot cards, oracle cards, and a couple of books and things. Also in my currently using, I have a rainbow notebook, which I'm just using to jot down any old thing. I really like this because it's got this kind of spine, which I've forgotten the name for, but it means that when you open it up, it lays flat really nicely, but it's hardcover and it doesn't have spirals, so really love this one. It's from Studio O, and I think it's pretty. I've got my Camp Nano project where I'm handwriting my romance and my folder with all of my notes. And then I've got 2 composition books that I got from Staples when they were on sale. One I've just been using for planning, and I sort of go into this to figure out my quarterly planning with the HB90 system. And I've got this one, which is my Publish and Thrive course notes, where I'm trying to figure out how to eventually self-publish, but first I have to finish a novel. Yay! So that rounds out my currently using. I have this binder that I got, I think, in high school from Staples. I really like these kind of binders just because they're really sturdy. And again, I got this when I was in high school, so I've had this for like 15 years. I was using it as a planner until I got my A5 6-ring binder that I use as my planner. So this one is currently retired. I'm not using it for anything, and papers just fell out and I don't care. They're just blank papers anyway. This is a notebook from Piccadilly that I probably got at Barnes & Noble. Again, I think I bought this in high school. I've used it for so many things. I've torn out so many pages. Right now it is being used to just write story ideas. There's nothing in here. It's mostly blank at this point, but previously was used. I like it because it's big. Currently unused. And then I've got this big old box that was an Erin Condren mystery box of previously used notebooks. They're mostly completely full. Some of them are only partially full. This one is my favorite because I got it at a original cast showing of Notre Dame de Paris, which is one of my favorite musicals, and I bought this when that company was touring in Seoul, South Korea in 2016, I think. And I love this notebook because it reminds me of going to see that musical. It was the very first musical I ever went to see solo, and I did it in South Korea, and it was a musical that was by the original cast in French. It was a trip. I love this show. If you haven't seen a recording of the French original Notre Dame de Paris, you should watch it. It's amazing. It's only half full. I was using it as a poetry collection, but my poetry is terrible, so I stopped doing that. Anyway, if you want to see more of my previous notebooks and writing notebooks and what I put in them, I have an entire video dedicated to that. It's old, but it's from what have you. I will put that in a card or something. And now, to get into my stash of notebooks and papers and things. First thing that I have is just a binder of notebook paper because my family would purchase reams of 3-hold notebook paper and then use part of it, lose it, purchase another ream of 3-hold notebook paper, and we don't throw anything out. So I just have this entire binder of notebook paper and I have no idea what to do with it. Ideas? And then for the big boy, this bin has all of my brand new unused notebooks. We're gonna go through it real quick right now. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna have to forgive the awkward angle because this is just what I've got because I've already moved so many things around while I'm trying to pack my room. So this box here has all of my unused notebooks. Let's go through. Oh, you can't see me. All right, so first things first, I have this notebook, which I got as a gift from my job. So it has my company logo and whatever on it. And it's just a nice little white folio with an insert notebook in it. Really nice. I like it. I don't even know how many of these. I call them dot books because my older sister was in color guard and she called them dot books. So they're just these top ring notebooks. And let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, 20 dot books. I've also got this butter dot book, which has vibrantly colored pages. Very nice, like that. A similar, smaller notebook that has side rings instead of top rings. And 2 of these little tiny mini composition notebooks. I have so many of those because some of them were gifts, some of them I got when I was traveling in Korea, and the many multicolored dot books I bought when I was a classroom teacher to give to my class. Did not ultimately give them to my class because I couldn't think of a project to use with them, and then I kept them. So now they're mine. They're great for shopping lists and things. I keep one in my purse. I've got possibly one of my favorite notebooks. This one has a little blue on it. It's a Jurassic World notebook and it's shaped like a heart. I got it from Comic-Con, from Seoul Comic-Con in 2018. And it's just really cute and I have not thought of a reason to use it yet. So, and then we get into the bigger notebooks. I've got a Redbubble Captain America. This one is a dot grid notebook. This one was a gift in my Camp Nano Care package. It says Little Book of Evil Things. I have not thought of a reason to use it yet, but it's very nice and hardcover. I've got a second Organized Chaos book because I thought that I would never be able to find the one that I'm currently using, and so I purchased this one online, and then I found that one in store, and this one hadn't come in yet, so I purchased that one too, so now I have two. I've got labels, a weekly to-do pad, and just some empty small 3-ring stationery paper. I've told you my family doesn't throw out paper. This notebook I definitely got when I was in college. It's very cool. It's a stone paper, so it's made of stone material, which means it's really, really smooth. But it also means it like takes a certain pen to be able to write on it really well. So I've not used this. I had a set of 3, so the other 2 must have been given out as gifts or something because I definitely didn't use them either. This one, fun story, somebody found this notebook at the school that I worked at in South Korea, and it hadn't been written in and nobody knew whose it was, and after it sat on a desk for 3 days, my boss just gave it to me. So now I have this notebook, and it says, they should tell you when you're born, have a suitcase heart, be ready to travel. Gabrielle 7. So I think it's really nice and pretty. I used it to take notes and learn Korean, and then I stopped learning Korean and I moved back to the States. So now it's empty. I have a third composition book, like the ones that I'm using for planning and Publish and Thrive, because I think these were like 80 cents, so I bought 3 because they had 3 different colors. My hoard. And the rest of this is just colored paper, colored cardstock, more labels that I got for free when I was a teacher, and some legal pads. And that's my hoard. So that is my hoard of presently unused notebooks, and I also have this entire tub filled with other paper stationery supplies. So we'll just take a quick look in there. So this one is mostly full of paper organizers. This is a fold-up plastic bin. Unused binders, some Padfolio notebooks to hold legal pads and pens and things, a metric ton of file folders like this, as well as some 2-pocket folders, my collection of plastic file keepers, paper keepers like that, some clear page protectors for binders, and hanging file folders, another binder, just a lot of folders and paper keeping things. And again, my family doesn't like to throw out paper, and a lot of this I got either when I was a teacher or when I was a student, and I'm at a point in my life where I don't know what to do with it, but keep it because I like it, and what if I need it? I realize I have an issue. So those are all of my paper things, not including my sticky notes, of which I have a hoard of sticky notes and little notes as well. Also not included are my planners or my stickers. That I also have a hoard of stickers for my planners. And the whole point of organizing all these things was to declutter them. And yet, I have an entire bin of things that I don't know if I'm ever going to need or use that I'm refusing to get rid of, because what if I do need to use them? Maybe I just needed to talk it out. I could get rid of a lot of these things, and maybe I should. Leave your comments down below. Should I get rid of some of these things? Should I donate them? A lot of my materials that I had from when I was a teacher, I donated to a local school because they said they had a lot of incoming teachers for the grades that I taught. So I donated a ton of stuff there. Some of this stuff could probably go to Goodwill. It could be recycled. I don't know. What would you do with all of these paper things? Especially when you're moving from a 1,000 square foot apartment to another 1,000 square foot apartment several states away, and you need space on your moving truck to not spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to move trash. Or things that are just better served by other people. Let me know your thoughts on my stash. I realize it's not as big as some people's stationery stashes. However, this is what I have, and honestly, it's still too much. But I have trouble parting with it because I like stationery, and I like finding uses for it. What does your stationery stash look like? Is your stationery stash more or less than mine? And how do you maintain it? Right now, I am maintaining it by moving it with me and keeping it in boxes in a closet, which is not useful. Not useful. So I'm gonna go watch some decluttering videos in order to try to shift my mindset into allowing myself to let go of some of these things and or finding places where I could donate them to make them more useful. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Part of it is also that I know my mother's opinion. If I were to ask her, should we keep it or should we let go of it, she would always be of the mind to keep it. Because what if we need it or it is still useful? But is it though?